Welcome to ProjectME, the podcast. I'm your host, Tiffany Carter, the founder of ProjectME, multimillionaire entrepreneur, former TV newscaster, money-making expert, female empowerment speaker, and self-proclaimed office supply addict. My mission is to take the mystery out of making big money. Every week on ProjectME, the podcast, I'll share success tips, strategies, and stories from other entrepreneurs, experts, and millionaires, showing you exactly how you can achieve your most exceptional life. Now let's get to it. Exciting announcement for all of my listeners. I've officially opened my exclusive group, the ProjectME Passive Income Posse, to the public. This group is by application only, so we can keep the group high vibe and spend our time, energy, and expertise only helping those of you who truly want massive success and impact. You get live weekly trainings from me, special guest coaches, and direct access to me and my business partner for all of your questions. To learn more and apply, go to projectmewithtiffany.com, click on Work With Me, and select ProjectME Posse. And of course, any questions, feel free to DM me at ProjectMeWithTiffany. Welcome to the Posse and podcast, ProjectME with Tiffany Carter. Today, you guys, is an extra special episode as I'm bringing on one of my business partners for the first time ever. You're going to learn how to make a business or a brand out of your passions. Julie Davey is a God lover, wife, mom of twins, a nurse practitioner, and a professor at the prestigious Emory University. She's the founder of In the Kitchen with Julie, which is part of her A Natural Shift brand. And this whole kitchen and the kitchen thing with you is pretty new, right, Julie?
Yes, I'm so excited about it. I can't wait to talk more about it. It's just, I'm in love with it.
So here's the thing about her, you guys. First off, you have to follow her at Julie, Julie _Ann_Davey, Davey. I really don't like cooking. Like, you guys know who follow me. Like, I don't get it. I don't like it. It stresses me out. Yet I can't stop watching her stories and lives with her cooking. It's something, I don't know. She makes it look easy and effortless. And she's like, you're obviously a super busy woman. And it's like, I don't know what it is about your cooking. It's like mesmerizing to me. So what was your premise? You obviously saw a hole in the marketplace, right? Which you guys, I teach. That's like when you see a need or a hole in the marketplace and you know you can fill it, now you've got a good business. So what's the hole you saw in the marketplace with people sharing recipes and cooking and all that?
Yeah, Tiffany, the biggest thing that I see and that I hear people coming to me asking me is, how do you prep all this healthy food? How do you get your family to eat it and do it in a small amount of time? Because that's the number one thing. People are so busy. Moms are so busy. Even if you're not a mom, you're busy. And most people would tell you that they want to be a little bit healthier. They want to eat a little bit healthier. But the next thing that they typically tell you is they don't have time for it, right? So over, the past, I'd say 10 years, I've really developed a system that helps me to feed my family healthy food, but get in and out of the kitchen quick. And that's what the premise of the whole program is.
I mean, it's almost sounds too good to be true, because when I watch you, it's like, she's not just doing like, sheet pan meals or like, using a crock pot, because that's what most people who market that they have like quick, fast, easy meals for the family that are healthy. That's usually what you guys see on Pinterest or whatever. No, you go for it. You have like roast beef and brisket. And then I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, do you like grocery shop like every day? What's that deal about?
That's a great question. I don't, although I do not mind going into the grocery store since it's something that I love. But what this is all about is taking just a little bit of time to prep for the week ahead. Now, traditionally, if you look at people who meal plan and prep, they typically say you have to spend, 3 or 4 hours in the kitchen to get everything together. That is not my philosophy at all. I'm all about spending pockets of time or creating pockets of time within what you're already doing in the kitchen. So when I'm in there prepping a 30-minute meal, then I'm thinking ahead at the next day or two, and I'm doing something else that sets me up for success. Maybe I'm making lunches for the next day. Maybe I'm boiling some extra eggs to have for, snacks and lunches. Just creating or making good use of your time. That's a better way to put it. Just really making good use of your time.
So you're taking best business practices in a sense, right? Because, you guys have heard from me and other experts, like in business, or even with the students you teach at Emory, like even in school and university or whatever, this is what you're taught is work ahead, work efficiently, plan the night before for the next day. Even if you're into fitness, right? They'll say to help you make sure you get to the gym, lay your clothes out ahead of time. So you're taking that premise into the kitchen.
Yes, absolutely. It's just about time management. And I hear people a lot of times say to me, I'm just not a planner. And what I really want people to understand is you don't have to be a big planner. I teach the foundational, fundamental skills that you need to set yourself up for success. And they're simple skills. It's just a matter of learning them.
So for everyone who's not familiar with you, Julie, help people understand, how you got to in the kitchen. Like you first started, right? You had a full corporate career as a nurse practitioner, right? So take us through your journey a bit.
Yeah. So I started my journey in healthcare, really wanting to help people, wanting to serve people over 20 years ago. So I've been a nurse practitioner for that long. And I also went back and started teaching in the program that I graduated from at Emory. Doing both of those, it's, pretty busy, but I recognized probably about 7 or 8 years ago that I really, really had a passion for more of a holistic approach to health. And so that's when I really began to look at what food does to our body and how things like, natural medicine can heal our body. And so I kind of took that path and really just kind of started to study and experiment with different things on my family. I have, as you know, Tiffany, I have twins. They're 12 now. And I can remember after they were born, I didn't want to feed them all of the baby food and stuff. So I made my own baby food. Now, this was like when making baby food was not cool. Okay. It wasn't like the
you're like the wackadoodle mom making it, right?
Well, let me just tell you how funny this is. So my sister, she's 7 years younger than me. So she didn't have kids when I had my kids, and she would come over for hours and help me make this baby food. And she would say, "You owe me big time. When I have kids, you are going to owe me," And so we laughed and we joked about it. But what I learned from that is I learned how to prepare all of this healthy food. But let me just say, I used to spend hours in the kitchen doing this. And I can remember at one point, I was making dinner, and this was probably before I had really gotten that system down, to get in and out quick. He was like, you love being in the kitchen, cooking, right? And I'm like, and it kind of annoyed me because I was like, well, not all the time. I just really like to eat delicious food. It's not that I want to be in here all the time. And that's kind of when things started to click. Okay, how can I do this in a timely manner where I don't feel like it's overwhelming and where I don't feel like I'm spending all day in here? And so I started to just experiment with different things. Okay, if I try doing these couple of recipes together and incorporating different things like that, how can that get me in and out of the kitchen quicker? And that's how I developed this whole system.
Wow. See, this is exactly what I teach. There's an earlier episode, you guys, in the podcast, if you're like, oh my God, like, I don't even know what I'm good at, what I'm passionate about. There is a podcast where I take you through an exercise. You just need to scroll and on iTunes or whatever, Spotify, and you'll find it, where you can find that beautiful sweet spot of what you're passionate about, what you love, what you're good at, and then see a hole in the marketplace and fill it. I mean, look, Julie's getting my attention, and I really don't like cooking. I really have a really crazy resistance to cooking, and I'm super busy, and like I'm warming up to the idea. Like I'm like, I might be a converter. Like my fiance would be thrilled, because the thing is that it gets really expensive. Like there's like I'm sure you guys have them where you live too, but they have all these like fancy grocery stores here in LA, like, Gelson's, and, you could go to Whole Foods, and I go and get healthy food right from like the deli section. But that gets really expensive for two people. I can only imagine a family. That would be crazy. That'd be $1,000 a week.
But you know what, Tiffany? I love going to, like when I go to Atlanta, for instance, to teach, I often go to Whole Foods because I love it, but I don't live near a Whole Foods. We don't have Whole Foods. We don't have any really, upscale grocery stores like that. So we have to cook, or I have to cook from stores like Publix, Kroger. We don't even have a Trader Joe's here. We don't have any of that stuff. So, it's actually more challenging to get, your items from those type stores. So I do a lot of online shopping, which you save money when you do online shopping. So in my group, I've created kind of my favorite brands and list from things like Thrive Market, Vitacost, and Publix and Kroger, so that it makes it easy for people. Because that's the other thing that I hear a lot. Healthy food, like you mentioned, can be expensive, especially for a family. So people don't want to necessarily go out and try all of these different brands to figure out what their family likes, right? Well, I've really already done that work for people because I have kids. Kids are picky. I mean, most all kids are kind of the same, and husbands are picky too, by the way. So, I mean, at least mine is. But so I have kind of tried all of the different brands, and I tell people, look, my kids love this. They don't like this. So I've already kind of done a lot of the work and then created the list for people so that then they can say, oh, I buy this brand at this grocery store, but they don't have this one. So I have to go over here, because that's another common issue.
Right. Like I'm not even kidding, you guys. I don't cook, and I go to 3 to 4 different grocery stores because there is not one that has all the things. It's like no one's figured that out. It's insane. And I have everything by me. Like, so if I lived probably somewhere more remote, I might have been forced to cook, which would have been really, really interesting. So for people listening, they're like, okay, so Julie had, you have a great career as a nurse practitioner. For those of you guys don't know, that's a very high demand career. You're never going to be out of a job if you're in nursing, okay? And a nurse practitioner is as high as you can get in the ranks of the nursing world. So you have a career that was already lucrative. So what made you want to do something more? Was it that you wanted to move a little more away from that traditional medicine and go into a natural zone, or as you say, natural shift?
Mm-hmm. I love that question because you're absolutely right. When people ask me all the time about going into nursing, should I do this? Is this something that would, be a good career choice for me? And my answer is always yes. I don't think that you can go wrong in nursing because there are so many different routes that you can take, and you will pretty much always have a job. If it's something that you love and you feel like you'd be, you're passionate about, then yeah, absolutely. I never tell anyone not to do that because I do think it's a great, at least start to a career. But what I was finding was it's not that I wasn't passionate about helping people. It's that I was maybe a little bit burned out with it. And the other thing that kind of went into my decision is I distinctly remember this one day, just like it was yesterday. We had moved into the house that we live in now, and this was about 8 years ago. And I remember being so grateful for just everything that I had been given, that God had given me. And I remember laying on my living room floor and just looking up at the sky. And I remember saying, okay, God, what do you want me to do with everything you've given me? And as I was praying, I was thinking around all of these not just material things that I have, the life that I have and the things that I was passionate about. And that is really right there what started everything. Everything just kind of started unfolding. And I remember being in the kitchen just multiple times, and I would make something that, didn't take long at all, but it was so delicious. I would think to myself, every single person needs to know how to do this. Like, everybody needs to know how to do this. And that just excites me. And that's kind of where everything started for me. And then it's just kind of, continued on as the years have gone by. I just love to share this kind of stuff with people.
So a really important part of the story is how Julie went from, being a nurse practitioner, which she still is. It's not like she stopped that, so to speak, but how she transitioned into, a natural shift. You decided to monetize this passion of yours initially for natural medicine, a holistic approach. For you to go down that path, you chose to go down a network marketing avenue and create passive income. So tell me a little bit more about why you made that choice, because you could have been a holistic online coach or done online courses, or you could have gone a different way. So why did you go that route?
Yeah, I can't say that it was just something initially that I made that decision and took that path. So here's kind of how it happened. I started using natural medicine myself and on my family, just really kind of experimenting, because to me, this was about 6 years ago. It was kind of the missing piece to the puzzle in terms of, we were already eating healthy, we were exercising, but then I wanted to have some type of natural tools and natural medicine to use when we were sick or to keep us well. And so I started kind of diving into that and looking more into that, and joined a network marketing company at the time just to use the product. Okay. I didn't know anything about the business side. In fact, when I was approached about the business side, I thought, there is no way I'm doing this. I cannot sell anything. I am not, and this was my mindset at the time, and it was just a mindset. I've never sold anything. I'm not good at this. So those were the stories that I was telling myself. And I quickly recognized that it was really just about sharing something that I already loved. Because here's what happened, Tiffany. People were coming to me left and right, wanting this information, wanting to know about this natural medicine and how it could help them. And so I just was naturally sharing, and at first just recognized, oh my gosh, I could get paid to do this. Like, it was just like this light bulb went on. I was like, oh, wow. Because like I said, I had never had any experience with this. So at that point, then I said, okay, I'm going to do this as a business, and really kind of dove into that and have built my business, over the last probably 4 years. And now that is what has really allowed me that's my passive income, and what has allowed me to pursue this dream of, in the kitchen with Julie, having this membership site and so much more that I have dreams for, but that's how it kind of started.
So in just 4 years, by aligning yourself, I feel like it was God driven, right? Well, I feel everything is, but
Yes.
It was God driven because it was something that you liked, right? And then you just shared it. Just like I tell you guys, like with affiliate network marketing, like you share a favorite restaurant, you share a favorite camera or your favorite pair of workout pants. It's no different as long as it's sincere, right? And if you really are obsessed with it and you share it enough, you should align with a company, right? In order to get paid for sharing it, because it's crazy. It's crazy not to. So in just 4 years, I don't know, it could have been under 4 years, you've had a lot of success in network marketing. So quantify that for us. Like, where are you at probably annually or on average monthly with your passive income and network marketing?
Yeah. So where I'm at in the particular company that I'm with, I'm in about the top 1% of the company.
Look how hold on. She's so humble. This is reason number 512 why she's my business partner. She's like, yeah, I'm in the top 1% of my company. I'm like, okay, anyway, go ahead.
And, that equates to, it's roughly an average of anywhere between, 10 and 16,000 a month. If you look at kind of average, standings for where I'm at in this particular network marketing company. But I want to go back to something that you were saying a minute ago, Tiffany. You said, talking about sharing what you're passionate about. And I was referring to, I told myself I wasn't a good salesperson, but really, we're always selling something. It's just like you said, where we talk about the Lululemon leggings we love. We talk about, the restaurant we love. In reality, we're really selling those things. We're not trying to make money off of them. We're just, sharing something that we love, but really we're selling that stuff if you think about it that way. And I think for me, everything with network marketing, because I know sometimes people can have kind of a negative mindset around that, and I mean, I think I probably did just because I felt salesy and I didn't want to feel salesy. It's all mindset. I think once I shifted my mindset and recognized if I have information and I have tools and products that can really help and change someone's life, then why would I not share it?
Well, it's selfish not to, in my opinion.
Exactly.
Why do you think it is, mindset wise, people are they're totally okay. And I don't care. You can pick any age group, nationality, upbringing, highly educated, not educated. Everyone's totally cool recommending, or as you say, selling or marketing or promoting, which we all do, whether it's your favorite running shoes, your ski equipment brand, whatever it is. And they're okay doing that because they're not making a commission. They're not getting paid. They don't have a sponsor. And so they're okay. But as soon as you tie compensation to it, something shifts with a lot of people. Why do you think that is? I don't get it.
I know. And I don't know that I have the answer to that. I just think it all goes back to something within us and our beliefs, and I think that's different for every person. It might not be the same, but I think sometimes when we feel like we're promoting something or selling something, it makes us kind of feel icky on the inside for some reason. I don't know why, but I think it's all internal. I think it's, all goes back to mindset and our beliefs within that's where it needs to shift and change. Because if, like we said, if you have something that will help other people, it is selfish not to tell people about it.
Yeah. And it's also, in my opinion, a lack of self-care in order to not reward yourself for your intellectual property, as I like to say, and for your energy. So why wouldn't you, whatever, if it's affiliate marketing, sponsorships, network marketing, whatever, why wouldn't you accept money, right? Why wouldn't you accept money in exchange for you teaching people, guiding people, your time, your effort, your energy? Like, you deserve that. And to not give yourself that, you're basically saying to the universe, to God, whatever you believe in, like, I'm not really worthy of it. I'm only worthy if I'm doing it for free. Well, that's not good, is it?
Exactly. And as you were talking, it reminded me of what you always say. Low self-worth equals low net worth, right? I mean, that's the saying that came to my mind as you were talking about that, because I truly believe that it is that we don't think that we're worthy of that, of being compensated for that. We just want to maybe sometimes just give it all away for free. We don't think that we deserve to be compensated, which is just a lie. It's not true. So again, just a lot of to me, this whole journey with whether it's network marketing or it's entrepreneurship, whatever it is so much a self-development journey. I mean, first and foremost, because if you don't work on yourself, then you're never going to grow in your business. Your business isn't going to grow. I mean, you're going to reach that limit where you can't grow anymore if you're not willing to do the work, which isn't fun sometimes, right? I mean, I know that you do a lot of self-development too. And so it's hard sometimes, but it's so necessary.
So you're the top 1% in your company. A top 1% anywhere is an incredible feat. That means you're exceptional. It means that you're doing usually something different, something unique. You have the dedication, the discipline. I've been in the top 1% in several pharmaceutical companies. So not on the natural medicine side. I guess we could call it on the chemical side. But I like the idea of being in the top 1% on the natural side a lot better. So what do you attribute that to, getting to this level? Like when you look at other people, maybe on our team, or other people when you go to speak at a conference or something, what do you think it is that it takes to get to that, top 1, top 5%?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think that it takes drive. I think it takes grit. I think it takes the biggest thing that I think it takes is perseverance. I think that people are too quick to stop, to give up when it gets hard. So, I mean, that to me is what I see the most in new leaders, builders that maybe come on to my team that don't, eventually they just say, okay, I can't do this. This isn't for me. I'm not cut out for this. I hear that a lot. And the fear, typically it's fear. They're afraid of going to the next level, or the personal development that they need to do to get to that next level. And they, quite frankly, don't want to put in the work. I mean, yeah. I just think that's what it is.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this applies to any business, and any business where it's like, why do you guys think it's like I think the stat is like 80% of new businesses fail. It might even be more than that. It's a big number. And one is, I think people go into fantasy thinking. So they, and they follow people, on Instagram or on Facebook, and they're, watching someone living the hashtag laptop lifestyle, traveling the world and claiming it's all from passive income, which it very well might be. But, some people go a little far with it and they're like, I made $100,000 in 6 weeks or something. So it sets a lot of people up to have this fantasy thinking that it's going to be quick and easy and smooth and magical. And it's like, I have no idea where people get that from. But, I love analogies. I would compare entrepreneurship to marriage. Now, we all know I'm like the runaway bride, so I'm on engagement number 3. Hi, Mike. Mike's listening. I love you. And
third time's the charm. Okay?
Exactly. And the thing was like, marriage, or whether it's like long-term, partnership or whatever, we were brought up with like that fairy tale, right? Oh, he's going to write me poetry and have rose petals in the bath every night.
Exactly.
And you never go to bed angry. That's my favorite. That's a line of shit. That's stupid. You should go to bed angry sometimes. And so it's like we're taught this, and it creates some magical thinking. And then people get married. And if you don't have someone really telling you the truth of how it is, you're like, oh my God, this is hard. This is work. Right. And look at how high the divorce rate is. Now, I'm in Los Angeles. The divorce rate's like 95%. It's something insane. But like nationally, I think it's 70 or 75%. It's that high. So I like to compare that, when it comes to business. So take us a little bit so people can hear. I like our listeners to always hear the truth. That's why I always have guests on who keep it as real as me. So tell us what your first year looked like, pursuing, network marketing, where you're like, oh, I'm going to get paid to share all this stuff that I love I've been sharing.
Yeah. So I think really probably the first year, I was still just really trying to figure it all out. I mean, to be quite honest with you, I really didn't understand the compensation plan. I really didn't understand anything at this point. And this, I think that this is a good point for people. This is why it's so important to do something that you are passionate about, whether it's affiliate marketing, network marketing, just being an entrepreneur, having your own brand, whatever that looks like for you, that passion will drive you when the times get rough. So in the first year for me, I would say I just didn't have a clue what I was doing. I was loving sharing everything with people. And here's another point, Tiffany. I did not quit my 9 to 5, right? I didn't do that. I kept the job that I had, and this was kind of my side hustle, and I have backed off of my other jobs that I have, as a professor and also just as a clinician with my practice. I still do those, but I've backed off of them because, my passion has, or my passion business, I guess I should say, has grown, right? So after that first year, once I really saw the potential and saw, some money coming in, then I really started kind of pursuing it hard, right? And I mean, it looks like, going and talking to people and educating people when you don't feel like it, when you don't really want to, when maybe even though this is your passion and you love it, gosh, tonight it sure would be nice to stay at home with the family and not have to go and do this. I mean, that's just reality, right? But I knew that if I wanted to grow this so that I could make this more of my quote job, and cut back on my other jobs, that's what I had to do, that's what it would take. So I think it's just knowing up front that there's going to be hard times. It's not going to look like you said, like, rainbows all the time, but you have to head down. And especially in the first few years of a business, it's just head down and work and know that if you're passionate about it, you're doing something that you love, keep going, because you never know when the breakthrough is going to happen, when you're just like almost there. And then that's where I think a lot of people give up, and they never really got to see what potential they had, really.
Right. Because I don't think there are enough people, entrepreneurs like you and me, who are sharing the truth. There's more entrepreneurs out there sharing the glory. And it sets up a bad stage for people and a false expectation. You guys, it takes easily, right? It takes easily 3 years of being in business, of putting in the time, the effort, the consistency, and then all the stars align, and then a domino effect happens, and it becomes easier and easier, and you make more and more and more and more. This is how it works. But if you don't put in that sweat equity up front, or if you're like, oh God, I've been doing this 6 months, Julie, I've been doing this, 3 months. I just got someone today, like on our team, that's like, I've been doing this 3 months and talking about it, and I've not made any money. And I'm like, okay, like I had 10 downloads of my podcast in 3 months, and now I have between 10 and 12,000 per episode, and it's 9.5 months later. So you gotta, you know what I'm saying? You've gotta look. You can't think of it that way. You can't get so obsessed. Just keep sticking with it and listen and follow people like myself at ProjectME with Tiffany and Julie Davey at Julie_Ann_Davey. Follow people who truly tell you like it is, so you know what to expect. And it's not for everyone, right? It's not for everyone. If you want a consistent paycheck that even if you're kind of zoned out during the day, or you call in sick or something like that, and you're going to get paid the same, then you're an employee. You're not an entrepreneur, right?
Oh, absolutely. I was just thinking about this, actually just the other day, and thinking about, going into the medical field, being a nurse practitioner. First, let me say, I'm so blessed that, there are very few people with my degree that are able to work. I practice clinically 1 day per week, and that's to maintain my skills. Like, that's unheard of.
It's unheard of, you guys. That's crazy.
But do you know why that is? That is because I've been with the same practice for 16 years. And here's the thing, and this is another good point that I thought of as you were speaking. It is about work ethic. You know, I showed quickly when I started that job that I am a good employee, right? I mean, I never call in sick. I'm always there. I do the job. And so when you set yourself up that way and you have good work ethic, then I think that it pays off. So now, having done that, now I can, work from home, 6 days a week. Not that I work 6 days a week, but you get what I'm saying. Like, the other 6 days, I get to be at home, work from home on my own schedule. And that's the beauty of entrepreneurship. It didn't happen to me right away. I wasn't able to do that right away when I started 6 years ago. It's been a progression, and it's only because I stuck with it and knew that on the other side of all that hard work that it would pay off.
Well, and truly, you have a choice now. This is why I talk about passive income and creating freedom for yourself, freedom of choice. You're choosing to still teach at Emory. You are choosing to see patients once a week. You do not have to. You're making enough money between $10,000 and $16,000 a month. You don't have to do any of it. And that's so freeing, because now you're only doing what you truly want to. And then when you do that, that's the abundance mindset. Then you start attracting even more abundance, because people can energetically feel that. Your family can feel it. Oh,
it changes. It really changes everything. When you are living in your purpose and living your passion, it changes everything for sure. With your family, it's just like you said, Tiffany, with everyone that you encounter, everyone that you're around and everyone that you encounter.
I mean, Julie and I got into business together. I don't know. It hasn't even been that many months. Well, why do you think that we were attracted to each other? My famous thing I always say, like attracts like. We are both living in our purpose, making lots of money in our purpose. We are both following what, God wants us to do, and listening and honoring that, and are really into personal development. Like attracts like. We were strangers. We live on opposite sides of the country. So this is what I mean by when you're in that state, right? If she was in the state of, let's just say, like grinding away as a nurse practitioner, which I have a lot of friends that are NPs from being in the pharmaceutical world who are easily doing these crazy, like 12-hour shifts, 4 days a week. They're exhausted. They're burnt out, but they're making six figures, but they're exhausted, burnt out, resentful. If she was in that space, we wouldn't have met, because our energies wouldn't have matched. If that makes sense to you guys, like you're getting what we're saying here, take a screenshot right now. And I want you to post it on your Instagram, post it on Facebook, tag myself at ProjectME with Tiffany, tag Julie at Julie_Ann_Davey, Davey. Let us know, like, holy crap, you guys are delivering some serious wisdom. Like, I'm getting it right now. So we want to see that. If for some reason you're driving and you can't remember Julie's Instagram handle, it's okay. I'll post it and tag her. So we have something exciting for you guys. Before we move on to sharing some her next level of development in her passion, which you guys do not want to miss this, because we have also another cool thing for you. But if you are listening and you're like, oh my God, I want to learn how to have that financial freedom. I want to learn how to create a business off of something I'm passionate about. I'm really into like natural medicine, right? Having a holistic approach in life. Julie and I right now are taking on 7 people on our team. So just 7. You have to meet a pretty strict criteria, because we know what works, just like we talked about today. We know what works in terms of being successful and what doesn't work. So there are just 7 slots. If you are interested in joining our team, where you will learn from Julie and from myself directly on how to get to a spot where you can be making $10,000 to $16,000 a month in passive income. You guys already know I have millions in the bank. Most of that money is from passive income. And then when you have that money in the bank, that money continues to grow, which is that domino effect. I want you guys to not have to depend on any person, job, career, situation, family member, the government, whatever it is, again. But you have to get what we're saying in this episode. You have to be really in it and know that it's not instant gratification, and be willing to learn from 2 women who have done it, who are doing it, and be really coachable. So you can just DM me at ProjectME with Tiffany, or message me on Facebook, so Facebook or Instagram, and ask about it. And if you don't, you don't. But the first step is, if you really believe in yourself, you'll take that first step and message us. But those spots are going to go pretty quick. This is my first time opening this up, and the first time Julie is opening this up with me. So again, there's only 7. Those action takers will be able to tell, who takes action on this quickly, because that speaks volumes about you. Do you have anything to add to that, Julie?
No, I'm so excited, Tiffany. We are, as you said, we're looking for rock stars. I mean, and we've been doing this and know what that kind of rock star person looks like. We know what qualities they have, who would be a good fit for us and for our team. And 7 spots. It's not many.
No. And we don't want a ton, because we give you guys a lot of personalized mentorship. So could I be greedy and say 50? I could, but I wouldn't be able to, and nor would Julie have the time and to be able to deliver the quality that you deserve. So you were able to, Julie, because of the passive income you're earning, you were able to then go to the next level in the evolution of your passion. And you just founded another brand, a spinoff of your brand of A Natural Shift, called In the Kitchen with Julie. So we talked about it at the beginning, but tell us more about what this membership is.
Yeah, so I'm really excited. The membership site is for women who really have a deep desire to make a change. This is a change that will not only improve their health, but the health of their family, of future generations. So if you are feeling frustrated when every night you think, what are we going to have for dinner? If you really want to feed yourself and your family nutritious food, but you think, I don't have time, or maybe you even think you don't have the money and the resources to do it, like we were mentioning earlier, then this program is for you. So some of the things that we will cover in the program, we'll go over you'll learn foundational kitchen skills that will allow you to get in and out of the kitchen quick. How to set yourself up in the most efficient way. I will also give you guys weekly meal plans, a grocery list with it, and tips for how to put everything together. And that's a new meal plan every week. Like, that's huge value.
Wow. Now, let me ask you, because I don't know how many people who are listening who are like me. It's almost like I have cooking anxiety. I don't really want to say I hate cooking. Mm-hmm. It's like cooking anxiety, like I'm intimidated by it. So I don't know if there's anyone else listening who has it, who can relate, but do you think like your program would be suitable from someone like me, or does someone really need to have like some pretty solid cooking skills already?
That is such an awesome question. There will be people coming into the program at all different skill levels. So I will start from the basics of, here is how we prepare. Let's just take, for instance, how to chop an onion. I mean,
I don't know how to do that. I'm being honest. Right. It's embarrassing. I don't know how to, I don't even know if this is the proper term, like crushing garlic or whatever. I really don't know, you guys.
Well, you
Julie's
see, Tiffany,
Julie's
you are
face
the perfect.
right now.
No, I'm thinking this is awesome because you are the perfect person for my program, because I'm going to take, whether you have zero skills or you already know how to cook, you just need maybe more of the planning aspect. It will be for anyone in between. So we'll start from the basics and then we'll move, forward. And then ultimately, here's what I want people who are in the program to, this may take somebody 2 years. This might take somebody 6 months. What I have learned over years' time, just taught myself, is how to go into the kitchen without a recipe and make whatever I want.
Oh my God, that's like my dream. I thought you had to go to cooking school for that.
No.
Wow.
No, absolutely.
I'm always amazed by people who do that. I'm like, these people are wizards.
Mm-hmm. I rarely ever use a recipe. If it's something that you bake, I mean, you kind of have to have measurements right for baking. Everything else, you just eyeball and you freehand and you learn what flavors go together so that you can put something together really quickly. And that is how I have learned over the years. And now that's what I'm teaching in the program.
So how much time does someone have to dedicate to being able to kind of learn this stuff in your program?
That's a great question. So it really depends on how quickly you want your skills to advance. So you could spend, 30 minutes a week kind of developing skills. You could spend a couple of hours if you have that time. So what I'll do is I'll walk you through each step, starting from the basics and the fundamentals, and then we'll just build on that each week. So, you'll get the foundational skills, and then you'll be able to decide what you want to move, like what goals you have. We're going to be setting goals. Like this week, my goal is to, cook 2 meals at home, maybe not every single night. We're not going to go for like, oh my gosh, I want to transform my whole family. We're going to transform everything within the first week, because nobody can sustain that. That's just not doable. So we'll take it little bits at a time, and we'll, set our own goals within the group and share them with each other. That's the thing, Tiffany, too, when you do something like this, as you know, with your site, it's the accountability and having that community that is so helpful, right?
Well, and also like, especially for someone like me or some other people who like, maybe have like cooking anxiety or intimidation, or you're newly married, you want to be able to like, cook for the husband or a special meal or something like that. And maybe you never learned, maybe you didn't have a mom or a dad who cooked, or it just wasn't something you were exposed to in your life. What I look at this is like, okay, I could follow some of your stuff. And if I'm stuck, what's cool about a group is I can just go into the group and type a question. And I probably, knowing the people you attract, I probably would get like 25 responses from different people who are like, oh, you do this, Tiffany, or no, you don't leave the peel on the garlic.
Exactly.
It's like, no, you don't smash the garlic with a hammer, because that's what sounds like practical to me. I'm like, don't you just use like a hammer? I really am clueless. It's so embarrassing. So what Julie is offering, the ProjectME peeps, which is so cool. She's offering 20% off for you guys for your first month, right, of In the Kitchen. And I will make sure that I put that discount code, that promo code in show notes. But so you have it here. It's Kitch, KITCH, all caps, 20. So Kitch 20, all caps. And where can they go to get the link to sign up?
So the link is in my bio, Julie_Ann_Davey on Instagram. And then you can also go over to our website, which is anaturalchef.com, and find more information and the link to sign up there.
Yeah, and I'll have it in show notes too. So we have it in all the places. I don't know how long Julie's going to keep up that the 20% off the first month, because this is, a really cool new launch for her. So if it sounds like something that you're interested in, or you want to gift it for Mother's Day, that's a cool gift too.
That is.
You want to gift it to someone, or you want to gift it to a friend. gift like 6 months or a year to a friend who's getting married or is newly engaged, I would rather get a gift like that than like, a crystal vase. It's like, what the hell am I going to do with that?
I know.
You know what I'm saying? I do have one last question. I know you have to pick up your kids. Because it's coming up for me, because you guys now, of course, I'm like going to say to Julie, like, okay, you gotta let me in the group. Do you have to have all sorts of kitchen gadgets?
Oh, I love that you asked me that, because one of the very first things that I have, it's a video that I did showing what my top kitchen tools are to have to set yourself up for success. And I have links to all of them on Amazon so that you can go and buy those if you choose to get them there. I think there are 8. And this includes like a knife, a cutting board. I mean, it is basics. You guys, I do not do all of these fancy gadgets, because you know what they do? They take up space in your kitchen. You don't need them. You do not need them to cook. You don't.
Where can people see this list of top kitchen tools with the links? Is that also in your bio?
No, that's just within the group now.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, that's really cool. And then you have the links right in there. So if it's, because the thing is, it's like they might be basics, but you're saying these are my favorite. These are Julie Davey approved, basically.
Yes.
So right. I don't have to go, well, which cutting board or which brand of knife do I need to buy? I mean, knives can be really expensive. Do I need to go buy like a $500 knife set or whatever? So you take the guesswork out.
Exactly. And I'll give the knife is a great example, because I'll give 2 options of one that is, a lower cost and one that's a higher cost, but still good quality. So you'll have options in there. I'll give 2 options for each item, and you'll have the options there so that you can just click on the link and browse and decide, what you want to get.
Now, I just have to add, Julie followed something that I teach in my ProjectME Passive Income Posse, and she is incorporating another stream of passive income, which is having your own Amazon store. So she is sharing stuff she would share anyway. And when you click on those links and you buy the things, she makes a little bit of money off each sale. You don't get charged anymore. It's, a way that Amazon can get more sales or, whatnot. So it's a form of affiliate marketing, and it costs nothing to create this Amazon account. So I wanted to point that out. You see how effortless and seamless that was, and how it ties right into her brand and her passion. So I want to get your wheels turning, whether you're a photographer, whether you're an artist, whether you're a yoga instructor. You guys can start seeing how that works. Oh, I could recommend, my favorite yoga mat or blocks or a camera. So I want you guys to start thinking of stuff like that. If you want to know, how the hell do I set up this Amazon store, Tiffany? What are you talking about? Just DM me at ProjectME with Tiffany. I spend 2 hours a day in my DMs answering all of your questions. So, and you can also reach out to Julie, and she'll help you out too. Right, Julie?
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for coming on. This is like big deal. Like I've never had a business partner of mine on. So this is super, super fun. And I'm so excited for you and to learn all things in the kitchen from you.
I'm so excited, and I'm so honored to have been your first business partner on the podcast. So thank you so much. This was so much fun.
Bye, girl.
Bye.
If you enjoyed this podcast, please write a 5-star review on iTunes. Not only will this make me super happy, but it will allow more listeners to find our special show. Simply help me help others.